Hey, we're here at Gunners Firearms with Maggie again, and gosh, Maggie, it was interesting. We were just talking a little bit, even as we were filming before this intro, of this trend of returned guns, because and it makes sense that you said it, because we've talked about like a certain type of gun was returned or a certain type of gun was really popular. But with the sheer volume of new gun owners out there, and not just new gun owners, but a lot of people like, myself and other people went out and bought additional guns during that time. So there's a lot of buyer's remorse. So there's kind of, now that we're seeing gun prices come down, there's a lot of people we'll just share what's going on. It's a lot of buyer's remorse, so to say.
So yeah. The remorse really sets into deep regret. These people who have purchased these firearms thinking, yes, that guns hold their value, and you will get exactly what you paid for, or more when you purchase this firearm. That's not always true, especially in the case of modern firearms, and specifically these firearms that come out in these lightweight plastic frames, and then all of a sudden a year later or the year after that they've upgraded, something is newer, better, replacing the old model with the new model and its upgraded features. So you go from the standard to the 2.0 now, or you go from a Gen 3 and suddenly now here we are 3 years later, and you can buy Gen 5s of the same model, and people are like, well, wait a minute, I just bought this 3 years ago. Why is this one less money than these new ones? And it's because you're a few generations behind. So nobody wants the older stuff as much as they want the shiny, flashy, newest, latest, and greatest. So they've discontinued those old models that you have. They clearance them out for cheap. So when you go to buy or to sell these back, you're going to get the last price or the current price those are going for. Not exactly the price that a new current generation model is going for.
Now, my guess is a lot of people paid too much back during the gun surge.
Not always.
Not always.
That
but
is
some people
not always the case. But yeah, in some
cases.
In some cases, these dusty gun boxes that are coming in that were purchased in 2020, or people that purchased earlier in 2019, and when things were very inexpensive, and they're like, I thought I was going to need it. I thought I was going to be the person that was going to go out and practice, but this is very expensive.
Right, it's expensive hobby.
Every single time you pull that trigger, that's money. Mm-hmm. That's money every single time you pull that trigger. Ammo is not free. Ammo does not usually come with the firearm. So no, it's expensive. And so people are like, well, I thought I was going to do this, but it turns out here it is 2023, and this has been sitting in the closet since early 2020.
Yeah.
Well, but I want all my money back for it. I paid... I know how much I paid for this. I got it at XYZ big box store. They ran these on sale. I got it for this much money, and I want that money back. Mm.
So this surge in returns that you're seeing, is it because sometimes we see a trend and it's like a little trend. Is this a big surge?
I'd say this is a cyclical trend. So it seems to just happen over and over. This is something that I believe, and if you talk to people that have been in this for longer than I have, that have seen generations of gun buyers come through, they probably have about the same thing to say. Like, hey, I bought this when it was the thing. the thing everybody had to have. And then it's like, well, that's not the thing anymore. Here's what everybody's going to. So innovation has never, innovation is, it will kill the price on some of the older models for sure. Just because, hey, look, you guys said you hated these features of this gun when it came out. Well, it's taken us 2 more iterations, but look, we fixed this, or we finally made a gun that was what the consumer base had been asking for. So yeah, they just have a tendency to drop the old guns like a bad habit, pick up the newest, latest, and greatest, and
I can see that, and I'm guilty of that too. I'm certainly good, because it's usually the older things that are unique that I hang on to. But the stuff that there's just a million of these out there, I just kind of bought one to test it. Now there's something new, I'm getting rid of that. I bet that's pretty common.
Swiss CZ.
Yeah, I'll never get rid of that
Please
thing.
don't.
I won't. That's
Please
the one
don't.
gun I'll still
That
always
is
have
so
that.
cool.
Yeah, if I only own one gun, it'll be that one. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a Remington Model 81 in 35 Remington, and I'm like, I'm not getting rid of that one. That's kind of a baby. Sorry, no.
But I do see why people, because the newer stuff is, most of it looks the same. If you were to ask my wife, when I'm scrolling through guns online, to her it looks like, she compared it to black shoes. Like if I looked and she was just looking through black heels or something, and it's like, well, all those heels look the same. No, they're very different,
And she's so right.
Yeah.
She's so right. To someone that has no idea what they're looking at, or someone who hasn't spent a lot of time on either side of a firearms counter. Yeah, they do. Look. So you're like, well, what's the difference? All of these are in 9mm. They shoot the same.
And they look the same.
Yeah, they look the same.
At a first glance,
Very first glance. And then you're like, well, let me show you the features. This one has stuff the other one doesn't. This one has, sometimes the upgrades and features are all internal, and you don't notice those upgrades or features until you take the firearm out to the range. And then you're like, oh, wow, what they've done with the recoil system makes this infinitely more fun to practice with than the previous models or something like that. So you do get that. That's pretty cool. At the same time, it's kind of a pain in the rear trying to keep up with all the upgrades that are coming out. Did this one come with 2 magazines, 1 magazine, or 3 magazines? I don't remember. What color was the follower when this generation came out? Oh, black? Orange?
Well, and for the record, you and I have been preaching, do your research, look around, learn about the guns, look at the features before you buy, take your time. Don't just take Uncle Joe's advice, just go way before this thing even started. So, but there is in the reflection of people just go like, I just need a gun. That one's black. It goes bang. I'll take it, or my Uncle Joe said, I need this, so I'm going to go buy this. And now that I've learned about guns, I don't like it because there's so many other better guns. And
yeah, my son, my brother, my dad, my neighbor, my best friend, my mom, somebody that I love, trust, and respect told me this was what I needed. And there's more than that out there. But when you do your research, you're obviously
That's why it's so important.
You're not
so
seeing
important.
the whole thing too, and that the prices on the new stuff will eventually drop as it goes out of style.
Well, Maggie, gosh, thanks for sharing this cyclic trend. Guns are hard to find. Now they're easy to find. Now they're hard to find. Now they're easy to find.
Welcome to the firearms industry. This has been going on for generations. Enjoy the ride.
That's right. Well, Maggie, thank you so much. We always appreciate you, and it's good to see guns come back for sure.
You're
It's such a
welcome.
great supply.
It's so great to be here, and until next time, we'll see ya.
All right.
Have fun, everybody.
Bye-bye.